Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna do something different. I thought I would do a get ready with me while I convince you to read Kristin Hanna books. So let's get into it. So to be first macho, to be transparent with you, I've only read 2 books of Kristin Hanna. And those books were The Nightingale and The Great Alone. I'm pretty sure you've heard of them. They're pretty much all over TikTok. And for so long, I wanted to read Kristin Hanna books, but the length intimidated me because I'm such a slow reader. And if the book is over 500 pages, no matter how good it is, it takes me a long time to read, like at least 5 days long. If I'm consistent, if I read every day. Every time I would go to Barnes and Noble or Target and I would see The Nightingale because I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, and I wanted to pick it up, but I was like, ooh, that's like 5 something pages. I don't think I can do that. So, but eventually I caved. The Nightingale is about 2 sisters who were raised during World War II. And if you guys don't know this about me, I also was raised during wartime and I survived war and I escaped death. I don't even know how many times, to be honest with you. I don't even know how I'm alive, but I am, and I'm thankful for that. So I was like, I need to read that, like, because I went through that myself. I was like, I want to find out, like, even though you think historical fiction is not your thing, believe it or not, as soon as you read The Nightingale, you completely gonna change your mind about it. Last year, I went to Europe. I went to Paris, London, and Germany. And because the flight, so I live in California, the flight is like literally 12-hour flight. And then me and my family, our flight was like legit straight up 12 hours from California to London airport. So I was like, this is such a long time to be sitting in an airplane, and I cannot sleep in airplanes, to be honest. For the life of me, I cannot sleep in the airplanes. Even if I take melatonin or whatever, like I can't sleep. So I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time to just sit in the plane for 12 hours straight and to read The Nightingale. And oh my, because The Nightingale is World War II, and reading it while I was in France because the sisters lived in France, and reading it while I was in France, so it felt so surreal to me. I was like, this is so real. Like I felt like literally in the book. Also, let's back up. The reason why I love Kristin Hanna books is because Miss Ma'am, her characters in my head, oh, I almost poked my eye. Her characters in my head are like pretty real. Like out there is Elizabeth living life, In my head, they're like, that's like how her writing is good. Like she makes you feel that these are human beings that went through war, that survived this type of trauma, and then they lost people. So, which is why I connect to her books this much. And oh my, reading The Nightingale while on the plane, it felt such a surreal moment because like I was sobbing my eyes out in the plane. So if you guys don't know, I love me a good cry, and Kristin Hanna does not disappoint, even though I only read 2 books by her. The book is essentially made me feel all those type of feelings that finally like somebody wrote something this dramatic. Like, yeah, war sucks. Yeah, you lose people. Yeah, stuff happen. You lose literally everything. Like I couldn't go to school. Same thing happened in the book. Like I lost loved ones. Same thing happened in the book. That's why I love that book so much. It resonates with me and what happened to me in real life. So if you think you don't like historical fiction, I highly recommend you starting The Nightingale, and believe it or not, even though the lengths are super long of the book, you will finish it in literally like in a couple of days. I was able to finish The Nightingale in the whole flight, in the whole 12-hour flight. I only had to take a break a couple of times because I was sobbing my eyes out. That's the only reason I took a break, to be honest, but I highly, highly recommend that book. Also in my TBR, like I just like I got fourth ranked as a book fairy, and I just purchased The Woman by her. I heard nothing but amazing thing about The Woman, and also how women survive war. So I want to read that too because I went through it myself. I want to experience it. You know what I mean? Another book I read by her was The Great Alone. And The Great Alone, oh my, oh my. The Great Alone was also amazing. Great Alone is about a family who moved to Alaska because the dad was super like abusive mentally and physically to the mom, and he never touched the daughter, but it got to the point that he did, and then finally the mom snapped and she was like, I can't do this to my child, like my child deserves better. But it's about a family. The dad was like super abused, like the dad was so narcissistic. He was like, we're gonna move to Alaska and we're gonna start a brand new life. And unfortunately the mom and the daughter had to go with that plan, even though they didn't want to move. But they thought it would be like a good idea, like to get away from the city, fresh start and everything. Like maybe it'll calm him down, you know. If anything, it made it worse for him because now they were like isolated. Now they moved to Alaska and now they're isolated, and whatever he did nobody would like know because there was like such a small community. That was back, I want to say back in the 50s. I could be wrong, I completely forgot, and because I read it literally last year, could be completely wrong, but things started to happen like immediately, and a lot of people like tried to help the wife, like by leaving her husband because he was super abusive, but she couldn't do it because she loved him. And back then, like, I think women were more scared to leave their husbands than right now, even if they were abusive to them. But it got to the point where like he was super, he got abusive to the daughter as well, and that's when she was like, I cannot do this to my child, like my child deserves better than that. And it just had me in tears because like it got to the point like even the daughter was now like she couldn't do anything. She couldn't date, she couldn't like he barely let her go to school. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a narcissistic behavior. It had me also like sobbing. That's why Nightingale and The Great Alone were like my all-time favorite books of 2024. Going back to The Nightingale, I recommend that book to literally every single one, no matter what genre they like. If they like fantasy, romance, dark romance, like literally any genre, I recommend it to literally every single person. And then they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This is such an eye-opening to like somebody who's never like been to war or like survived war. Like this is such an eye-opening. And I was like, yeah, like I love like people educating themselves. Sometimes you can people this is such a controversial topic that not fiction books don't teach you anything. Wrong. Completely wrong. The Nightingale taught me so much. And when I recommend it to people, they thank me for like, you know, hey, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Like clearly you resonate with it so much. And I'm like, yeah, you have no idea. I highly, highly recommend that book so much. Oh my, I have a lot of blush on. Such a blushaholic. Let's settle this down. This is not okay. I went overboard with it. If you don't know, I love blush. I love blush. I do not accept any criticism on those books. Like, if you have a problem with the way they are, I take it literally personally. I take it personally. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, reading is subjective, and if you don't like it, that's fine. But when people hate on it, that's a completely different story. I take it super personal. I'm like, what's not to like? What is not to like? It's a masterpiece, in my opinion. In my opinion. Her books that are pretty high on my TBR are The Woman, Winter Garden, and Four Winds. I heard nothing but great things about those. Alrighty, besties, this is it for me. Oh, I love this look. This is my everyday look. So did I convince you to read Kristin Hannah books or no? Let me know in the comments below. Bye guys, thank you for listening.